So I made a post on my shorts a few weeks back about relaunching my long form content on YouTube, where I've been quite inactive for the better part of a year. And I was going to start it up again, but lo and behold, the very next day I became ill and really just didn't want to face the camera. So here I am, I'm going to post my first video, and it's something I've been telling my son recently, and I think it's worth sharing with you guys because it's definitely a mistake I made, and I see a lot of people making that same mistake now, and it's gonna serve you well in the future if you stop doing it right now. So what I've been telling my son is that practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. And I don't think it's true anywhere more than it is in the gym. Now, I first heard this statement years ago, and for the life of me, I can't remember where I heard it, but it changed the way I lifted. And if you remember it, it will change the way you lift too. See, in the gym and outside of it too, to be fair, that your body is always learning. Every rep you do, every posture you hold, every movement pattern you repeat, your nervous system is taking notes. And that's important for you to remember, because most people think that they are training just their muscles inside the gym, and it's not true. A huge part of strength training is neurological. When I first found this out when I started doing powerlifting years and years ago, we are teaching our brain and body how to coordinate movement, create force, stabilize joints, distribute tension efficiently. So if we are constantly rushing reps, lift with poor control, or ignore positions just to lift the weight, we're not having just a bad session, we're actually reinforcing bad patterns. And the scary part is that your body gets very efficient at whatever you repeat most often, good or bad. And that's why over time we start seeing the same issues show up. Shoulders that constantly ache, that lower back pain that randomly flares up, or your knees that just don't feel right anymore. Now, most of the time, those problems don't just show up overnight. They are the result of thousands of reps done with poor mechanics, poor awareness and poor control. Now, obviously no one moves perfectly all the time. I can assure you I certainly don't, and pretty sure you won't too. That's pretty normal. But there's a big difference between training hard and training carelessly. One builds resilience and the other chips away at it. And this matters a lot, especially as we get older. Because at 18, you can get away with pretty much anything. And I remember in my late teens and throughout my 20s, although it was quite a long time ago now, I was barely ill. I had no aches, no pains. I was never hurt. And I trained to the max pretty much every single workout. And then boom, the 30s hit. Life got a little bit more stressful. I slept slightly less. The kid came along and recovery was slightly harder to come by. And the quality of movement starts to matter a hell of a lot more than your ego. It doesn't mean to say you have to hit lighter or train with less intensity. It just means you have to earn those heavy weights and intensity through good positioning, control, and consistency. And that's real strength training. So how exactly do we go about doing this? Slow down occasionally, really feel the weight, and if something doesn't feel right, then stop. Make sure you're performing the lift with good technique. This is where recording yourself in the gym is quite valuable. You can have a look and assess your technique, see where you're going wrong, and fix it in the future. Control the weight more on the eccentric part of the lift. You don't have to go stupidly slow, just lower the weight with a bit more control. Lose that ego, something I wish my younger self would have done. Ask yourself when you're lifting each rep, if I repeat this exact rep for the next 5 years, would I get stronger? Would my muscles grow? And would my body thank me for it? Because every rep counts. It should get you closer to your goals and get you the kind of body you are building over the long term. Not one that performs well now, but one that can perform and move well years from now. Trust me when I say I learned this the hard way, and I don't want to see anyone else make the same mistakes that I made. And this is exactly why I tell my son now, who is 6, that practice does not make perfect, practice makes permanent. Anyway, that's me rambling on. Any questions, stick it in the comments. Thanks for watching.